was the final product as expected according to the plan that was devised earlier? I feel that efficiency can be measured in these terms in this case. And also I would like to talk about different kinds of organizational structures. There is a hierarchical organizational structure and a flat organizational structure. A flat organizational structure leads to better communication, they say, as compared to a hierarchical structure.
Out of curiosity, do they have the same issues, such as with this paper, their main, I won't say cure-all, but I don't mean it that strongly, but the main way that they found that helped their problems was improving the channels of communication between the two groups. Isn't there other possible solutions to this stuff?
Solutions to improve communication?
Improve just how things work. You know, is organizational behavior just related, centered around the topic of channels of communication, or is it something else or something more?
Communication here is the key to coordination. The better the teams are able to communicate, the better they can coordinate.
I'd like to say that there's also a potential other thing.
Okay.
From the identity concern,
Uh-huh.
if an
That's
organization,
second theme. Okay.
if an organization knows Conway's Law, and they know they have these communication problems and these structure problems, then they should know that they're setting themselves up for failure. So to me, a potential first step would first to be identify how your organization currently is and try and enhance those enhance your structure, get better communication methods, look at some of these problems before you attempt to try and develop a project. But that requires them
Right.
self-reflection.
For instance, you're saying that if a certain company is trying to develop a product, it should know what kind of workforce it has and where it is located.
No, its own structure. It should know how emails get answered or don't get answered. If they already don't get answered now, what makes you think that including an international team is going to make it better?
And to go on with that, if, say, email is the preferred mode of communication, because people can sit and reflect and think, this is what I really want to tell this person, you know, would it be okay to add in informal stuff of saying, all right, we're going to force everybody to go to the trough at this point? Would that improve communication in that organization?
And the culture difference. So maybe the Germans go to the trough, as you say, but your current organization doesn't even know that method. So you're gonna now include a rogue member. Like the reason that this made me think of it is you have these consulting firms that sell you the world and produce nothing. And one neat thing to be able to defend against as an organization should be, I need to know how I best interact before I start expanding my own organization or start interacting with external customers or clients.
Right. So I think that we have talked a lot about coordination already as a cross-cutting theme. And identity might be something which we need to talk about more with regards to this paper. How is identity a factor here? How is it measured or defined? How is it defined? How is identity defined? And how is it related to organizational development, its structure?
more importantly, how does organizational development help you understand identity issues, or as the case may be, not help you understand identity issues? What aspects of identity does it help you understand, and what aspects does it not help you understand?
I think that the concept of identity is tied strongly to cultures and languages. So perhaps in those terms, identity can be measured here or defined here, to be more accurate. In terms of languages and cultures,
What about the liaisons? You know, how did people get the title of liaison where they were the main channel for interacting with the other people? You know, I don't think it's just a cultural thing of they sent German people to talk to the Germans, or we sent British people to talk to the British people in the other firm. So how did those identities get started?
while creating a pool of liaisons.
How do you identify the liaison to begin with?
Besides just picking them out and just taking them to a lottery and say, hey, pick a stick.
The authors have suggested that to achieve informal communication, we can create a pool of liaisons. How? By sending gregarious people who want to travel and who want to find out about work being done at the other side, and who are good observers, who can report back quickly. They can be picked up by somebody, and then again there are factors how the organization is structured itself, who gets to choose those liaisons. So we can go back to Conway's law, which says that the structure of the organization is closely linked with the structure of the system which is being developed by it. So with that thought, I would like to conclude my discussion. Any other thoughts specifically related to the cross-cutting themes would be welcome, because I feel that we can talk more about those. Coordination, we have talked a lot because coordination was the main problem here in a geographically distributed team, composed of a diverse workforce, split across different continents, time zones, and different cultures. Efficiency, again, can be measured as to whether the project was successful, was it developed on time, was it closely in line with the plan that was initially developed for it, and how many errors occurred, how quickly were they recovered from. And identity is still a controversial topic in this domain, requires a lot of thought. So, thank you for
Can I leave you with a couple thoughts? One thing is, I think that I really want to thank Chris and Amna for getting the ball rolling with these methods and approaches. That's really important. As we go on, we're going to want to emphasize more and more, not just understanding what they've said in these papers, but understanding the implications of what they've said for a whole range of CSCW and social networking systems. So why would you use this kind of analysis for understanding emergency management or not, right? What's actually important about social network analysis, working social analysis, network analysis tell you? What can organizational behavior analysis tell you? And what are its limits? So you want to be really critical going forward. Okay, everybody, we'll look forward to being in class next week and going to hear some things from me in the interim about your final projects and and so forth and so on. We can't actually see you very clearly because the lighting in the room is very poor, so, so you'll have to come talk with us or something if you want to, have actual interaction.
I would actually like to talk about this in context of emergency management, email, and other systems which we talked about, but because of lack of time.
Yeah.
Like to know.
Thank you so much, both of you, and all the class.
You guys can clap again.
Yeah.
Is it sure people are
You there?
Thank you. Enjoy your trip in Vancouver. We have
Hi, Kara.
Fresh stuff.
Yeah, we can sometime we can do that. Maybe come to that.
That's